This is KGW News at Sunrise.
There's a tentative new deal that could end one of the longest writers' strikes in Hollywood history. Coming up this morning, predictions about how long before your favorite shows are back. Plus,
this can't be for nothing. They couldn't have died for nothing.
That woman was talking about her sister and 3 other women. Police linked their deaths months ago. But now their families are raising awareness about the dangers they believe women are facing.
Here's another story we're covering this morning. It is wet outside. Rain falling around the area as we take this look from the wheel, or from behind the wheel, I should say, of Drive 8. Fall officially arrived just before midnight on Friday, and almost on cue, the rain arrived too. So, Chris McGinnis on board with us this morning. He'll have another look at your commute here in just a few minutes, but we lead off with Rodney Hill giving us a look at today's forecast.
Yeah, not bad outside, but it's wet. It still looks like this wet pattern stays with us through Thursday. So it's going to be a little while before we get Mr. Sunshine back. Here's a look at our satellite picture. You can see the big low offshore. You can see the fets of moisture running south to north. Very wet from around I-5 back to the west. And then you do get some breaks. Perhaps some of you on the east side, Sandy, good morning. You may not be seeing any rain coming down right now. We also have some lightning strikes offshore. And there is the chance of some rumbles of thunder anyway along the coast, I think, as we go through the day. Visibility downtown Portland is not bad. We're at 60 degrees. Winds are calm right now, but at times south winds, like they did yesterday, will become noticeably breezy. So I think it's going to be raining more than not today. 64 at noon, 65 at 5 p.m. There are no watches, warnings, advisories, nothing like that. So that's good news. And here's Chris McGinnis.
Let's get you back to the roads. A live look at Wilsonville, I-5 northbound. You can see the vapor trails coming off the cars heading in the southbound direction. That's over on that side of the screen. There's your northbound commute. Light traffic so far on that side of town. Same story in the Banfield, but plenty of water to be had out there. One trouble spot, we go down to Marion County right now. Northbound I-5 through the Salem area. ODOT reporting a crash near 99E, but right now the traffic map is all green, so we're getting around it okay. Just watch the speed, watch all the water out there on the roads. We'll get there just fine this morning, guys.
All right, more from Chris and Rod coming up here shortly, but right now our top news story this half hour. After nearly 150 days on the picket lines, the Writers Guild of America says they have reached a tentative deal with Hollywood studios and streamers. The two sides came together to release a joint statement last night. But in order for the strike to officially end, union members need to approve the deal. And even if a deal is reached here in the next day or two, that doesn't mean your favorite shows will jump right back into production.
There's still the actors union who are out on strike, the 160,000 strong SAG-AFTRA union. They still need to make a deal. So even if the writers do make a deal, even if that deal gets ratified by their membership, will they or will not, they pick up their pens and keyboards likely. But you're not going to see anyone in front of a camera until the actors union make their deal. Then you're going to have to see a ramp up. And that could go anywhere from about 3 weeks to about 6 weeks to get scripts in place, to get productions up and running.
That's a reporter from the entertainment news website Deadline talking about what may come next with the writer's strike. The Today Show will have much more coming up after sunrise starting at 7 o'clock.
Meanwhile, President Biden says he's joining the United Auto Workers picket line tomorrow in Michigan. Roughly 5,600 GM and Stellantis workers joined the strike over the weekend, including at this Chrysler facility in Beaverton on Southwest Allen Boulevard. Ford was spared additional strikes after the company met some of the union's demands last week. The UAW wants better wages and insurance benefits for its workers.
Today is the last scheduled day of the Measure 114 trial in Harney County. The voter-approved measure requires things like a permit, a criminal background check, and a training course in order for someone to buy a gun in Oregon. A federal judge already ruled 114 is constitutional, but the state lawsuit in Harney County has put the measure on hold. The trial resumes at 9 o'clock this morning.
A bartender at the Perch Bar and Grill in North Portland had a machete held to her throat during a robbery over the weekend. We're going to show you some security footage here where you can actually see the man grab the bartender, hold the machete to her throat. He then walks her over to an empty lottery machine, or to empty out, I should say, the lottery machines, and then he cleared out the cash register. He also made the bartender open up a secret safe at the bar, leaving with tens of thousands of dollars. We know that Perch isn't the only business along Lombard that's seen a rise in crime recently.
I heard there is so many businesses that are getting theft or break-in.
We also heard from another local restaurant called Kung Food that's been broken into 3 times this year. And the owners of Leisure Public House say they've had 6 break-ins this year. We reached out to police to learn the latest on the investigations into these robberies, but so far we haven't heard back.
It's been about 2 months since investigators gave us an update on the murders of 4 women in the Portland area. These are pictures of the victims. The women were found dead between January and July of this year. Law enforcement says all of these cases are connected. KGW's Thomas Schultz talked to the women's families as they gathered to honor their loved ones, hold a fundraiser, and raise awareness.
This can't be for nothing. They couldn't have died for nothing.
Earlier this year, 4 women were found dead in the Portland metro area. Law enforcement said the deaths of Kristen Smith, Charity Perry, Bridget Webster, and Ashley Rial were linked. While police investigate, the families say they knew something happened long before the bodies were found.
I searched for 5 months for Kristen. I knew something was wrong. I don't ever want anybody to go through what I go through.
While there is a person of interest, the mother of Charity Perry says she hasn't officially been told a suspect.
My detective hasn't given me a name.
Another woman who died around the same time was Joanna Speaks. Though law enforcement has not connected her death to the others, her sister says there are similarities.
There are so many pieces that do really link Joanna with the girls and with a person of interest.
Link Joanna with the girls. And these families worry there's still a danger out there for young women.
By May, Multnomah County had more people missing than they did the whole previous year, and that's women and kids.
They hope through fundraisers like this one, with pins, pictures, and t-shirts of the women, they can raise awareness of potential dangers, and that someone with information into their cases will come forward.
We're not going anywhere. We're not letting it go. We're not sitting down, and we're not shutting up.
Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Okay, let's get to some college football now. It was a blowout win for the Oregon Ducks against Colorado on Saturday.
42-6, the final score. Definitely a blowout win. So let's check out some of the highlights again from Saturday. Bo Nix, the Ducks quarterback, carved up Coach Prime's Colorado defense. They had Deion Sanders making his way into Autzen Stadium there. But yeah, big day for Bo Nix. 4 touchdowns altogether. Oregon actually had more touchdowns than Colorado had first downs in the first half. So a dominant victory for sure. We're going to hear from both coaches after Saturday's game.
We were prepared for a battle. It didn't end up being a battle, but I've also been on the other end of this before too. And I think that team's heading in the right direction. I think coach is doing a phenomenal job. On the same note, I get a little passionate at times, right? I get a little excited about what I want to accomplish for our team. And I just want to say, I need to humble myself a little bit. This is one game, right? And I'm not satisfied.
It's a good old-fashioned butt kicking. No excuses, no nothing. Their coaches did a heck of a job preparing their team. Obviously, we didn't.
Yeah, Coach Prime humbled a bit, I would say, on Saturday. Huge crowd at Autzen Stadium. Duck fans were ready for this one. In fact, this was the 6th largest crowd in the history of Autzen Stadium. Top 25 matchup, but Colorado no longer part of that top 25.
Oof. Okay, and after that game on Saturday, local college football fans got another top 25 showdown. Oregon State visiting Washington State. The Beavers played from behind all game. They made it close, though, in the end with a late touchdown, but Washington State recovered the onside kick. They held on and beat the Beavers 38-35.
There was a showdown in my household because my daughter goes to OSU.
All right.
My partner Jeff, WSU.
Oh,
so
boom!
That.
Yeah.
It was a fun game. OSU tried to get in it at the end.
You know what? I'm glad to see both teams still ranked in the top 25.
Yeah.
So they flipped places. Yeah. The Beavers were ahead of the Huskies. Pardon me, the Cougars.
Oh!
In my head, I'm like, don't say Huskies.
Words.
Huskies came out. But now the Cougars are ahead of the Beavers in that top 25.
That's respect. That's respect for the Pac-12 conference by the people who make up those polls.
And I think there's 4 teams in the top 10.
I mean,
Washington, Oregon, USC, and Utah.
And University of Washington, aren't they?
Washington.
8.
I'm saying Washington, Oregon, Utah, and USC top 10.
Yeah.
Beavers,
How about
Cougars
that?
top 25.
Maybe we shouldn't get rid of our conference. That's half of the
Too
conference in the
late.
top
Too
25.
late.
All right, let's get you to rain totals. Now, this map is only from midnight. Yesterday, Portland had 26,100, so you add that to 0.15. Salem, you had over 3/10 yesterday, added to 13,100s. North Bend, 1.21 just since midnight. So our rain amounts nearing a half of an inch on average up and down I-5. I think we're on track to have that 2-inch amount or maybe higher from what fell yesterday through the day Thursday, which is what we talked about last week. And we're on track to perhaps see rain amounts go well over 3 inches for the 4-day Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days. For the coast. So it's a good soak, beneficial rains over the fire zones. Most areas of Oregon and Washington seeing at least measurable rainfall. So I don't really have any big changes to what we started to track for you a week ago today. We are watching thunderstorms offshore. You see the lightning that's been detected. There's at least a chance of rumbles of thunder for you folks at the coast today. And the coast, I mean, I'll be surprised if it ever stops for you folks today. I mean, I think it's absolutely raining every single second. There could be some breaks in the action here in the valley, or at least where it's just kind of light or drizzle. Here's the big low on Futurecast wrapped up, just sending the bands of rain our direction. This is afternoon today. Here we are Tuesday at 10 a.m. still going. Here we are Wednesday at 2:30. I stopped it in the middle of the night because it's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning where the main surface front on the back end of all this comes through, and we'll see probably the heaviest rain rates, maybe some thunderstorms Tuesday overnight and Wednesday morning here in Portland, Salem, and Vancouver. And then Wednesday during the day behind that we break into showers. But there's another shot of rain that comes in on Thursday. And then after that, the weekend could be dry. I'll get you the 7-day in a moment. 58 in Salem, 59 Kelso, 60 Portland, 55 Newport, 58 degrees in Pendleton. Again, you folks at the coast eyeing the chance of a thunderstorm. Could be some south winds gusting as high near the beach today to 45. So that's a rainy, windy day. In the valley, we had gusts yesterday popping around 30. Today we could pop a 35-mile-per-hour gust. It won't be windy all day, but at times you'll notice the breeze is picking up, 65 degrees. Here's Portland, just kind of mid-60s all the way into Thursday. Friday, it's sun and showers. And then the weekend looks dry. Wouldn't that be good forecasting, huh? If the weekend's dry after all this rain, yeah.
Your timing is amazing. Thank you, Rod.